Welcome to our history channel. Today, I will reveal to you the story of the legendary building of the Kremlin in Moscow. This is a magnificent architectural achievement and the pride of Russia. The first construction of the Kremlin rock on the hill began in 1367. It took a year for it to be built of white limestone. To show you the magnificent fireplace is about 50 miles from Moscow. The weight of the limestone wall exceeded 112,000 tons of limestone by the 15th century. It is claimed that they can no longer perform defensive functions. Tsar Ivan III ordered the demolition of the old ruined walls, and replaced them with new bricks. Construction of the new walls began in 1485, and it took about 10 years after that. More than 100 million has been spent to be able to buy enough bricks to build the wall. Where they had to deliver such an amount, so they contracted bricks for more than 1 million cart trips in 1508. In the territory of the Red Square, they dug a moat about 36 meters wide and 8 meters deep. Its walls and bottom are built of bricks. Let's deal with the moat first. We will see the Kremlin's plans for the 16th century. The most famous is the Sigismund Moscow plan, drawn up in 1610. This plan was devised by Johann Gottfried and engraver Luke Fillet, and we followed the Polish privileges. According to the plan described by the King of Sweden and by Sigismund III, this plan is very precise with the arrangement of the olive trees in the present Moscow garden belt. And here is another plan from the same period compiled in the reign of Boris Godunov and then Geographical Bulletin. On it, its olive area shows that there is a part of the plan showing a moat while the others do not show it. In our time, some alternative researchers say that ropes could not have existed at that time. Also, relief brokers checked and found a lot of Kremlin terrain elevation data. They discovered a soldier's grave 142 meters above sea level, while the mausoleum in the Red Square is 154 meters, and the Church of St. Basil 30 meters above sea level. We have a hill about 12 meters high, but if you dig a 15 meters long canal, the water will surely come from the Neglinaya Moscow River. In theory, digging a canal is possible, but why a 15-meter layer of soil formed on Red Square no one can explain. Going back to the Kremlin walls, you might think that the inside of the Kremlin was made of simple brick for 500 years to the present. But the truth is not so. Let's see what has been rebuilt in the last 200 years. The Vigo Tower of Hydrogen was built in 1488 and rebuilt in 1805. The tower was in danger of falling and had its foundations removed in 1807. Ninskaya Tower was erected again 1495 and rebuilt. In 1770, the part of the Kremlin where the Knitskaya Tower was located. Another four were dismantled to free up the site for the new Kremlin Palace according to the project of Vasily Bajanov. A few years later, Catherine II abandoned the project. This low tower was built original according to the Mat Kozakov's drawings. Spasskaya Tower in 1491. In 1624, the Russian architect Bazin Ogurtsov and the English chief erected the tower, a multi-story fireplace topped with tents, and installed the tower's clock. Nikolskaya Tower was built in 1491. In 1812, the French withdrew from Moscow, blew up the tower. In 1816, the tower was restored to the 8-point architecture as we are now seeing. Now let's leave the official nonsense to the side, let's go back to the beginning. A new brick Kremlin built circa 1870 until the mid-19th century. No Kremlin bricks, no battlefield in most towers, no real painting depicting cream color, and all Kremlin paintings and plans were made in brothers in 19th century. And what follows in this place is a great long, covered fortress. Why did I decide to see a unique photograph of Alexander's garden in 1852? We see a palm tree in front of the palm tree in Moscow. You won't surprise anyone. Go further, look at the wall made of protein, and finally, the wall must be rebuilt under Ivan III. It must be brick and must stand here for 400 years. These are present photos of the place. And here's a photo from 1870. Everything is like assuming the wall was built in 1870 and the current wall is made of bricks. Now we will walk from the History Museum to the Red Square Center. This is the area where the height difference is filled the most. Between the tomb of the unknown soldier to the mausoleum, which is about 12 meters. The whole Red Square is a 12-meter hall, but I think we're going to play 12 meters by 18 meters, 5 types of soil that, for fun, are not yet in the Alexander Garden. This is a picture of people excavating in our day. They excavating the walls near the tomb. They dug down more than 10 meters, then didn't dig any further, and named this wall the side wall of olives for Varva. But it's also not the actual wall of the ancient fortress. Look out for the Red Square and the wall that we all know is a remake of the built outside. If you remove the land of the Passion Square 15 meters down, we will see the ancient real wall and the underground part of St. Basil. But no one does. This because the Kremlin is the symbol of Moscow and it must have an original face. It doesn't have to be like a fortress star for a European fortress. And here's the view from the Moscow riverside. That part of the wall didn't exist until the 19th century. Look at the drawing behind this fortified wall. There's the wall of the fortress, it's sprinkled with a bit of earth or all the old cladding has been torn off. So maybe no one there thought there was a wall, but it was just the lower spire on the other side, and behind the spires we saw the slope of the old walls. So I make a miniature of the Kremlin, not the old Kremlin fortress. It really looks like before backfill, so it's covered with earth, so we won't deceive all of us. We'll never have such a Kremlin. It's an old fortress hidden in bricks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to enjoy more great stories. Thank you. And see you next video.